For my investigation, I decided to look at a tool called Trello. So Trello is a free online software where you can use to organize and prioritize information or tasks. So Trello can be broken down three ways. So you make an overall board. So in this example, there's a company overview. You can make lists, and then lists can be broken down individually into cards. Each card, there is a way to add members. You can label information, add checklists, due dates, and attachments. So the cards overall have quite a bit of information that they can hold. In project management, according to our Horan text, the main reasons projects typically fail is due to poor communication and poor planning. So as far as using Trello, I think it's important that because you can invite and add members, you are constantly communicating with a live document. And Trello is really good for those initial planning steps where you can have everything in one space. Multiple team members can see what's going on. Horan also talks about a project definition document that identifies scopes, the scope of the project, goals, success criteria, and context. And when the team is trying to figure out that initial project definition document, Trello is a great way to brainstorm and to discuss so that everybody knows, what is the definition of this project, what is the scope. The importance of Trello is it is able to keep action items and to-do lists organized. You can use colored labels and invite team members to delegate tasks. So we've been talking a lot about making sure that nobody is overwhelmed or that everyone is pulling their weight. So this is a great way to visually see how tasks are being delegated. You can move cards to show progress of a project, and you can use the calendar feature for an overview of meetings and upload links. So one of the examples I have here is as you're doing a to-do list, you have all of these different dates, but as you complete these tasks, you can move them into in progress and then eventually completed so that your team is motivated by seeing the to-do list shrinking and the completed items growing. And that's a huge motivating factor. In addition, on this Trello board, we have different colors to represent different team members. And you can see then what team member is responsible for what tasks. When you go to the overall calendar view, this is a good representation of, if you're the green team member, you know exactly when all of your meetings are, you know what you're involved with. And it's a good way as they get moved from to do to completed for the project manager to see what's being done, what's happening with all of those various parts. As far as pros and cons, I like that you can invite team members so that everyone's looking at an active document. The labels being color-coded, there's a few ways that you can use those labels. I showed you guys the calendar view, and I think that's really important to be able to keep track of meeting schedules and due dates. I also like that you can use different softwares and you can link to Google, Dropbox, or even attach documents from your computer. And then it's available across multiple devices. So iPhones, iPads, Android phones, you can use Trello over your different devices. The cons of Trello is that sometimes with large projects, the amount of information included on the board can be really overwhelming. And you need the team to be willing to actually use Trello. So if they're not updating the information properly, the project's going to fall apart, and that goes with communication. So unless the project manager is very adamant about everyone using this platform and this software, it can fall apart pretty easily. Some of the examples is I showed this list where you have a to-do list, an in-progress list, and a completed items, and then you can move the different cards over from list to list, and then you see the overall calendar view. Another way is to organize it by phase, where you're looking at, the initial analysis and planning all the way to the launch of the project. And then for labels, instead of labeling by team member, you can use those labels to indicate if a task is on track, if it's something that's at risk where you're a little bit behind, or if it is completely behind schedule. The project manager then has a really easy colored visual way of seeing where the project is at, where the different teams are at. You can also drag team members. So for example, if you had multiple team members, you could put on each card who's responsible for what, and then use the color labels for being on track. As far as implementation, this is something that the project manager should be creating. He or she should be communicating with the team how the board is organized, what everything means, and what the expectations are for keeping up with Trello. Should it be updated regularly? Who should be updating it? But like I said, the main important part of Trello is that you can invite as many team members as you want, and everyone is seeing a live active document of the progress of the project, the delegation of the tasks, and all of the information is in one place. My personal interest in Trello is that I'm always looking for different methods of organization and communication. I like having collaborative tools, and Trello keeps everything organized with clean lines, color-coded labels, and the fact that you can keep and attach so many parts of the project in one place. You can use checklists within cards to break down even those tasks further. You can attach live Google Docs. You can use labels to delegate. You can see the overall calendar view. So I really like the clean lines. I really like that everything can be kept in one place, so you're not losing documents and links in different parts of the project. The references, I use the Horn text, but I hope you guys are excited about Trello and excited to use it like I am. And I look forward to hearing your comments about this tool, if anyone's used it or has any experience with it.